take things in your hand, manage your expenses well, understand them. Instead of investing in that pair of gold earrings,
Yeah.
invest in.
Hello and welcome back to Shiksha Se Shakti, where we empower lives through financial knowledge. Today's episode is truly special and close to our hearts, as we are speaking to a woman who's a 2 times cancer conqueror, a mother, and an inspiring entrepreneur who left her high-paying job and took leap into entrepreneurship, driven by her personal battle. Join me in welcoming Aditi Mittal. Hi Aditi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. And I'm very excited to share my health journey and life experiences with you all.
Let's start by understanding a bit about your journey, how you started your career, and let's get to know a little bit about you.
Sure. So, I was around 26 years old when I got married. I was working with Sabyasachi as a head designer, almost 16 years of my life. And I think life was going on smooth, just gotten married. Within a few months of my marriage, I discovered like a really painful lump in my breast. And without thinking much of it and without delaying, we went to the doctor very next day. And unfortunately, after a couple of tests, they diagnosed me with grade 3 cancer, which was a cancer of ducts. So, of course, our world, shook upside down. We had no clue. I had no family history of cancer. Lifestyle wise, I was very good. I was not smoking, I was not drinking at that time. Plus, I would say this is, as it's 15 years back, there was hardly any awareness around cancer, Mostly people spoke about cancer in later stages of life. They were not discussing cancer at such young age, so there was hardly any awareness. So for us, this was a big shock. Um, but anyway, I think things had to move really fast, and we went through the treatment. I had a lumpectomy, which is just removal of the lump and not the breast. And then post that, I did a session of chemotherapy, and then radiation happened. So all of that took almost 2 years for me to get back to normal life. 5 years, they keep you under massive screening. So I used to go for all of that. 10 years later, we thought it was safe to have a child now. I wanted to go ahead in making a family. Just right after I gave birth to my son, within 6 months, I was diagnosed again with breast cancer. So this time it was, more than shocking. I think I was a lot angry because I knew what the reason was. But unfortunately, my healthcare professionals didn't share it with me, and I think that was my right to know. So, the second time I knew what the treatment entailed. So I knew how hard it's going to be and how much of me it's going to consume. And I also had a 6 months old who really wanted, all my time and everything. So, I think second time, although it was a lot easier because I knew what the dangers are and what is going to, what is going to help me. But I think emotionally and mentally it was tougher the next time. So, but now I'm absolutely fine. It's been 5 years. I have a healthy son. He's 5 years old, and I'm very happy and grateful to God that I had the capacity to go for the right treatment and be absolutely okay today.
That is great to know. But you mentioned a lot of things, and I think for our viewers, let's just break it down. When the first time you got cancer, were there any symptoms? You said you were working for 15 years and you got married, and
Yes.
marriage, everyone's very happy, and you said you were also healthy.
Yeah.
Were there any symptoms that you noticed? And
No, there were no symptoms. This just came as a painful lump, and I should thank my stars that it was painful. Otherwise, usually cancer lumps are not painful. And you have to be very mindful about, doing your breast examination and everything, which I wasn't because I wasn't aware. But thankfully, the lump was painful, and, I could feel it. And that's how I went to the doctor. So, without any reason, without any realization, this happened. So, there were hardly any symptoms.
And everybody says that, and that's what I've also heard, that cancer treatments are very expensive. They're like very much, they drain your salary as savings.
They do.
So how did you manage that part? And you said you was 26, right?
Yeah.
What was some of the financial instruments probably that helped you at this stage?
So the first time that I got cancer, I hardly had a health insurance. Like I had, but it was very nominal, like minimal. But because I had gotten married and my husband had insurance cover from his company, he enrolled me as a spouse, and thankfully that helped us a lot. And they were kind enough that, with charging us a premium, they even extended the cover. So that took care of almost 90% of the expense of the treatment. And my own boss, Sabyasachi, he also gave me a health loan. So that helped. Second time we were very, very prepared, because you're always mentally, that if this comes again, then you have to shell out so much amount of money. The second time also, I was enrolled as a spouse in my husband's healthcare plan. And, but what we had learned from past is that we also, as a family, we have like this healthcare fund that we take about some 10-15% of our savings, and we put it in that, and we don't touch it, we don't dilute it, we don't do anything. It's a liquid fund. So yeah, that came in handy.
Okay, so you said insurance covered 90% of your expenses.
Yes.
Right. You also mentioned that, the second time when you got cancer, you were very angry. Right? Just let us know, just take us through that journey. What exactly happened?
So basically angry, not the fact that why did it happen to me? I never had that question in my mind. I think the first time itself, I learned that if it had to happen to me, it has happened. And I was very happy that it didn't happen to any of my family members, because then you feel helpless, right? Right now, the control was in my hands. So second time also, it was okay. The only fact that I was angry about was, see, what happens is when you are pregnant, there is a lot of hormonal disbalance that happen in your body. Your estrogen levels rise up. And for a cancer survivor, if there is any sort of malignant cells in your body, they feed on estrogen.
What was that time when you decided that you want to leave your high-paying job and, become an entrepreneur?
So I think it was an emotional but a well-thought decision. That there is a lot of awareness that needs to be done in women health, and we can help a lot of women by advocating preventive care instead of reactive care. So that made all the difference, and that's how we decided. And both of us quit our jobs and we started.
Aditi, let's move on to another aspect, when it comes to health and wellness, which I think is more important to talk in this episode because it's Shiksha Se Shakti, right? So, what do you think, like, how does financial literacy relate to health literacy in your experience?
I think these are two very well related topics. As we always say, that health is, we look at health from a very holistic perspective, right? We are looking at your physical wellness, we are looking at your mental wellness, we are looking at your spiritual wellness, your mental wellness, then your financial wellness. So everything comes in together, and everything has an important role to play. When it comes to healthcare, I think you don't want to compromise on anybody's health. Like, you would want to give them the best of treatment or whatever it is. You would want to go to the best of doctors, and that is all possible if you are financially strong, right? If you have planned your finances well. Because I think that stopping at some junction, or not being able to give any sort of treatment to you, or changing the treatment protocols, which happens a lot with us. If somebody is coming to us who doesn't have an insurance, or let's say who's not financially very strong, we have to tweak the treatment protocols, right? Which you would not want. So I think they are very well related to each other, and women, especially particularly, as I say, always keep some money away for yourself. Have an health insurance, whether you have your own. If you're a homemaker, then you should be enrolled in your husband's insurance plan or something. And yeah, plan your expenses, keep away 10-15% of your income away for all these treatments and all. So I think financial security is very, very important, because if you're not financially secure, then it leads to a lot of stress, and you don't want added stress while you're suffering. So I think that is very important.
I think healthcare in general, and in India, there is a need for a lot of education when it comes to healthcare, considering the rising cost that is in India, especially with critical illnesses. Since cancer is also one of the critical, it
Yeah.
comes under critical illnesses. people who are suffering from critical illnesses during their recovery phase also, are there any steps or anything that you would like to share with them, that these are the 2-3 things they should definitely do, even if they're going through a recovery phase?
So recovery phase for critical illness is very important because the chance of it coming back to you are very, very high. B, while going through the treatment and while consuming all the drugs that you've done, there are lots of side effects that happen. 3, you are always and always on any sort of preventive, scans and all that happen, all sort of diagnostics, blood tests. You are always under scrutiny, right? You are always going through different things, so to make sure that things are not coming back. All of this needs a lot of money. As a thumb rule, just for people to understand how much. For instance, Mera cancer treatment. Nowadays, what you have to do is mostly the government sector, they focus on the bottom of the pyramid, right?
Yeah.
So for people like us, we have to go to the private healthcare, right? All that infrastructure and everything comes at a cost, So for instance, my cancer treatment was close to almost 10 lakhs. Yeah.
Okay.
So I always say that whatever your critical illness treatment expense was, 10 to 15% of that every year, you need to keep it aside, because that will help you do any sort of preventive care so that it doesn't come back, and any sort of follow-up care. So I think that is something that we can all do, that save a little bit and keep it aside for that.
That's great. I think, Aditi, it was an amazing session. I have learned a lot of things from you, and I've been very inspired by your journey. I'm sure our viewers are inspired too. And just one last message that you want to, give to all women out there.
Yes, please prioritize your health. I think as women, we have been taught to prioritize family health first, husband comes first, kids come next. But I think it's time that you prioritize your own health, take things in your hand, manage your expenses well, understand them. And I would say that instead of investing in that pair of gold earrings, invest in your health insurance, because that will definitely help you.